Chapter 782. The man glanced at the detector in his hand and chuckled. It looks ordinary. But why do I hate it? Lin Yen was about to open the car door to see what was wrong with the macaw. However, before she could do so, the macaw flapped its wings and perched on the man's shoulder. Lin Yen glanced at the gentle-looking man in the car. She couldn't help but be taken aback. Was this macaw his? Why would he bring it out for a walk? The man's eyes roamed over Lin Yen as he sized her up. Lin Yen frowned, as the man didn't seem friendly at all. The corners of the man's mouth curled into a strange smile as he knocked on the window. Lin Yen rolled down the window without hesitation. Hi. The man eyed Lin Yen and chuckled softly. What's the matter? Asked Lin Yen. My friend offended you earlier. Please don't take it to heart. The man grinned. Friend? Lin Yan's eyes trailed to the macaw on Lin Yan's shoulder. This man's so-called friend was this macaw. Pay me back. Pay me back. Pay me back. I'll break your legs if you don't pay me back. The macaw glared at Lin Yen and yelled. Is that what you usually teach it? The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. The man's lips curled into a smile. There's something more interesting. Do you want to hear it? No, thank you. Lin Yen, who couldn't be bothered with him, wound down the window. The man placed his fingers gently on the window, and Lin Yen couldn't close it anymore. What's the matter? Lin Yen asked expressionlessly. A little. The man stared at Lin Yen as the smile on his face vanished. Instead, it was replaced by a chilling coldness. You look like a person. You must have the wrong person, Lin Yen replied softly. Could this man be one of her haters? Most of her haters had abandoned the dark side and joined the light side. If he was an extreme hater, she would have no choice but to flee. Lin Yen had already experienced the craziness of her haters. She couldn't beat them. Indeed. The man's smile returned. Your level is low, but there's an aura about you that makes me hate you. Lin Yen frowned deeply at the man's words. This man's words and actions were very strange, and he didn't seem like an ordinary person. Lin Yen frowned. Who are you looking for? Does he owe you money? Based on what he said, he was looking for someone who owed him money, and that person looked a little like her. The man, yes, you owe me 10 billion. Lin Yen coughed and coughed. How much did you say? 10 billion? Of course. The man's eyes met Lin Yan's as he quipped, it's a pity that you're still too weak. You are not her. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm not. If you're looking for a creditor, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I've never earned so much money in my life. Thank you. Lin Yen straightened her back and looked solemn. It's nothing. I mistook you for someone else. Goodbye. The man took half a step back and bade Lin Yen farewell gracefully. By the time she snapped back to her senses, the man and the macaw had vanished without a trace. Lin Yen was dumbfounded. Had she met a lunatic? Chapter 783. At this moment, in a certain suburb of the imperial capital, the man casually sat cross-legged on the ground, and the macaw on his shoulder did not move. It was unknown what the man had done, but a large number of birds had gathered around him. Help me find the Hunters Guild. The man chuckled. As soon as the man's voice fell, the large number of birds that had been circling the area instantly disappeared. Half an hour later, the man stood up again. He looked at the macaw on his left shoulder and sneered. Why does that girl have an aura that I detest? Pay me back. Pay me back. Pay me back. Bastard. Pay me back. The macaw seemed to be responding. Heh. She's not. This kind of detector shouldn't be able to detect that person's level. Of course, it doesn't matter if she's really missing or dead. If she's alive, I want to see her. If she's dead, I want to see her corpse. Let's get the Hunters Guild to help us find her. How about that? The man said with a smile. Pay me back. Bastard. Pay me back. Bastard. The corner of the man's mouth raised slightly. That girl is just a low-grade product from the laboratory. She can't be that person. With that, the man's gaze fell into the distance, and his eyes seemed to be filled with coldness. I will definitely find you. I really have to thank you for turning me into this. Heh. Lin Yan had just finished her game when Zhao Hongling walked over. Lin Yan opened the door and got out. Sister Yan, we've been stuck here for a long time. Duo, who was standing next to Zhao Hongling, spoke up. Don't worry. We have plenty of time. Lin Yan grinned. Let's go to the crew first, Zhao Hongling said. Lin Yan nodded and glanced at Zhao Hongling. Sister Ling, why don't you drive? I'll play another game. I'm about to advance. Zhao Hongling's face darkened when she heard Lin Yan. Lin Yan noticed that something was amiss with Zhao Hongling. What's wrong? Do you think I can drive? Zhao Hongling glanced at Lin Yan. Why not? Lin Yan was puzzled. Where's my driver's license? Zhao Hongling asked. Zhao Hongling's question stumped Lin Yan. How would she know where Zhao Hongling's license was? Sister Ling, where's your driver's license? Asked Lin Yan instinctively. Wasn't it because of you that it was revoked last time? Zhao Hongling said expressionlessly. Lin Yan was speechless. As she listened to Zhao Hongling, Lin Yan suddenly recalled that she had driven Zhao Hongling's new car. She had run countless red lights and caused Zhao Hongling's driving license to be revoked. Duo glanced at Lin Yan helplessly. She had really touched her sore spot. Lin Yan looked rather awkward as she opened the door and grinned. Sister Ling, get in. I'll be your driver. When they arrived at the set, it was already noon. Lin Yan, Zhao Hongling, and Duo had lunch outside before heading to the set. The filming location was very close to the crew, so they weren't in a rush. In the makeup room of the crew. This time, Zhao Hongling brought the makeup artist herself. She didn't use the makeup artist from the production team. After all, they had enough money now. After her makeup was done, Zhao Hongling studied the script and the list of actors. Wei Shufeng is acting as Lang Mang. Han Yixuan is acting as Po's captain. Zhao Hongling mumbled to herself. Sister, I remember that Lang Mang is from Japan. Is it suitable for Wei Shufeng to play the role? Duo asked curiously. Chapter 784. Zhao Hongling quipped, they are both Asians, so there shouldn't be a problem. Besides, Wei Shufeng's image is good enough to play Lang Mang. I think he is very suitable. Of course, we aren't a production crew. Yeva has several apprentices. Lang Mang isn't the only one. There are apprentices from all over the world. However, Lin Yan's scenes are considered to be at the end of the movie. Her scenes have already been filmed, so she won't have any scenes with the other actors. She just needs to act out the ending, Zhao Hongling replied. Sister, can I take a look at the script? Asked Duo. Zhao Hongling passed the script to Duo. Lin Yan, have you memorized the script? Zhao Hongling glanced at Lin Yan. Almost, replied Lin Yan. That's good. Zhao Hongling nodded. Actually, Lin Yan had only skimmed through the script and memorized it. She would be acting as herself, so no matter how good the script was, it wouldn't be as good as Yeva herself. Miss Lin Yan. The director knocked on the door and entered the makeup room. Hello, Director Gao Fushui. Lin Yan had changed into a silver uniform with Yeva's name on the back and WZ's logo and name on the front. "Miss Lin Yan, you look so good in this uniform." The director stared at Lin Yan and sighed. Lin Yan grinned and nodded at the director. "Oh my God, Miss Lin Yan." The director's smile froze as he scrutinized Lin Yan's uniform. "That's impossible." The more he scrutinized her, the more shocked the director became. Wasn't Yeva's uniform Lin Yan was wearing? The name Yeva on the back was Yeva's signature, which was printed on the shirt. On the front of the shirt, there was an eye-catching 18. What's more, there were even logos of major sponsors densely packed on the team uniform. The logos of international luxury brands weren't qualified to be printed on this uniform. Is this Yeva's team uniform? The director glanced at Lin Yan in astonishment. The director replied in disbelief, "That's impossible. We went to WZ previously, but they didn't even show up. They ignored us and ignored us. We were willing to spend a lot of money to make it look real, but to no avail. We didn't even get to see a single WZ member." "Miss Lin Yan, is this an imitation?" Lin Yan fell silent for a moment before she chuckled. "Yes, director. It's an imitation." Lin Yan was crying inwardly. "That's F***king real. Should he buy it?" She was selling. "Miss Lin Yan, you're amazing. This uniform is so authentic." The director gave Lin Yan a thumbs up. Lin Yan was speechless. Actually, when Lin Yan had left the WZ team, she had taken her uniform with her as a memento. Lin Yan had never imagined that she would have to wear this dress again one day. As she stared at herself in the mirror, Lin Yan recalled every moment of her competition. She recalled every moment of her victory. "All right, Miss Lin Yan. We'll head to the set in a minute. Please get ready." The director turned and left. Before Lin Yan could sit down, Wei Xiaofan, who was dressed in his uniform, appeared in front of the door. Chapter 785. Besides Wei Xiaofan, Qi Xiaoyuan was there too. "Duo and I will go out and take a look." Zhao Hongling left with Duo. After they left, Wei Xiaofan and Qi Xiaoyuan entered the room. Wei Xiaofan's eyes widened in disbelief when he saw Lin Yan's uniform. "Lin Yan. Your uniform." Wei Xiaofan's eyes never left Lin Yan's uniform. Wei Xiaofan was very familiar with this set of clothes. He had once seen Boss wear this set of clothes up close. However, why would Lin Yan be wearing Boss's exclusive uniform? Wei Xiaofan had bought some replicas before, but they couldn't be compared to the one in front of him. "It's a replica." Lin Yan glanced at Wei Xiaofan before she replied. Qi Xiaoyuan, who was in disbelief, exclaimed, "Miss Lin. It's a replica? Are you sure?" To Qi Xiaoyuan, Lin Yan's uniform was 100% authentic. "Where did you buy it?" Wei Xiaofan asked Lin Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. How was she supposed to reply? "I can't remember. I bought it online." Lin Yan pondered for a moment before she came up with an excuse. "Lin Yan, can you give it to me?" Wei Xiaofan asked. "No, of course not. Unless Director Gao was right, she would have to pay a huge sum of money." "Dream on." Qi Xiaoyuan blurted out. Although Lin Yan had said that the uniform was fake, Qi Xiaoyuan knew that he would offer his head to her if it was fake. Wei Xiaofan glanced at Qi Xiaoyuan in confusion. Qi Xiaoyuan chuckled awkwardly. "I mean, I like this uniform too. Why don't you give it to me?" "I use it for filming," Lin Yan replied helplessly. Lin Yan didn't give them a chance to speak. She hastily changed the topic and asked Qi Xiaoyuan, "Why are you here?" Qi Xiaoyuan was startled for a moment before he chuckled. "I'm here to visit Wei Xiaofan." I'm also here to be Wei Shufeng's assistant. I just want to watch the filming. What a joke. Boss was acting as himself. How could he not pester Wei Shufeng to sneak in? Lin Yan, have you memorized the script? Do you want to practice with me? Wei Shufeng asked Lin Yan. This was the first time Wei Shufeng had met Lin Yan since the competition in the country. His subconscious disgust for Lin Yan had mostly disappeared. In the past, Wei Shufeng had assumed that Lin Yan had purposely raced to get close to him. However, ever since the competition in the country, he had realized that he had been wrong. Right from the beginning, Lin Yan had been a capable racer. She hadn't touched the car just to get close to him. Back then, Wei Shufeng had thought that Lin Yan's performance at the competition had been a dream. Lin Yan had led the he to by beating. She had, Shufeng, Lin Xiao Yi, and Lin Shufeng, Shi, and Xiao. Lin Shufeng, Yu, Yi, Wu, Yu, Wang and, she had, Lin had, Xiao Yi, Hu Xiao, he, Wei, Shuahua, Xiao, he, Yen was, Yu, Feng, he. He Yen, Yang, he, Yen, he, Yu, Yen, Yang, Ayun, Qi, he Yen, Hu, he, Zhen. Chapter 786. Hence, Wei Shufeng felt a little uneasy when he saw Lin Yan again. He had never imagined that his impression of Lin Yan had been a result of his own wishful thinking. Wei Shufeng had to admit that Lin Yan was indeed qualified to play Yeva. At the very least, Yeva was more suitable for the role than Lin Shuya. Rehearsal? Lin Yan glanced at Wei Shufeng and pondered for a moment before she shook her head. I don't think it's necessary. Besides, it's not appropriate to do it here. I already know the script. Wei Shufeng nodded and replied, that's good. I look forward to your performance. Wei Shufeng led the reluctant Qi Xiaoyuan out of the room. Lin Yan and the rest of them followed the production crew to the set. Today, they would be filming a scene between Lin Yan and Wei Shufeng. The plot was simple. Lang Mang had met an extremely strong opponent in his career. Han Yishuan had played the role of the captain of the PO team. He had lost to the captain of the PO team twice in a row. In the final competition, he had finally defeated his opponent. Wei Shufeng and Han Yishuan scenes had been filmed a few days ago. Today was the last scene, and it was also the only one in which Yeva would appear. Almost all of their emotions were focused on this scene. Even Wei Shufeng was very cautious. The filming location was located in the suburbs, and it was a rally competition. When Lin Yan reached the set, she saw the silver car parked on the hill ahead. Lin Yan and Wei Shufeng were taken aback when they saw the silver car. Director, that car is. Lin Yan strode over to the director and asked. That's your car. The director grinned at Lin Yan. Can I go take a look? Asked Lin Yan. Of course. The director nodded. With the director's permission, Lin Yan walked up the hill alone. Lin Yan's heart raced as she scrutinized the silver car. She couldn't be wrong. This was the first car she had ever used in the KZ team. Lin Yan couldn't even remember how many days and nights she had spent with this car. She couldn't remember how many times they had raced or how many opponents they had defeated. This was her favorite racing car. She had many memories on this racing car. Lin Yan opened the door and entered the driver's seat. Everything in the car was still so familiar, as if nothing had changed. Lin Yan placed her left hand on the steering wheel while her right hand gripped the gears. At this moment, she felt as if she had returned to the arena of the tournament of the Pinnacle all those years ago. That was the first time she had lost, and it was also the most memorable and unforgettable defeat. It was a battle that had completely dragged her down from her throne. It was a battle that had been so close to crushing her bones and scattering her ashes. Because of the competition, this car had been unable to continue competing with Lin Yan. Scenes of the past flashed through his mind. Lin Yan had never imagined that she would be able to see her racing car again in this place. Moreover, from the looks of it, it seemed to be in good condition. Although the car could not continue its career, it seemed to have been repaired quite well. At the very least, it could reach a normal level. This is indeed Boss's warhorse. Wei Xiaofan and the director had walked over as well. Wei Xiaofan stared at the car in shock. Out of the corner of his eye, Wei Xiaofan caught sight of Lin Yan in her silver uniform. He couldn't help but feel a little dazed. Chapter 787. If she were to put on the helmet, she would look even more like her. It seemed like the production team had chosen the right person this time. Lin Yan opened the door and got out of the car. Director, this is Yeva's car, right? Lin Yan glanced at the director. The director grinned. Of course. How could it be fake? Director, where did you get this car? Wei Xiaofan was curious. Thanks to Master Lang Mang's help. This car was almost scrapped, so we asked Master Lang Mang to find it and repair it. This is Madame Yeva's first car in KZ, and we spent a lot of effort to repair it. We have to show our sincerity to the audience, don't you think so? The director chuckled, but his heart was dripping blood. They had spent way too much to get this car. Even Lin Yan hadn't expected that the production crew would be able to repair her retired car and ship it to the country. Even Lin Yan could sense the sincerity of the production team. Director, can I have this car after filming? Wei Xiaofan asked the director hastily. The director glanced at Wei Xiaofan. You want it? Wei Xiaofan shook his head frantically. No, no, no. I mean, I want to buy it. Just name your price. If it's possible, please sell it to me. Lin Yan glanced at the director. Wei Xiaofan turned to Lin Yan with a frown. Was she trying to snatch it from him? Lin Yan, what do you mean? Wei Xiaofan was unhappy with Lin Yan's attempt to snatch it away. Lin Yan replied calmly, I like this car. I will buy it no matter how much it costs. You. Wei Xiaofan was speechless. In that case, let's compete, Wei Xiaofan replied stoically. Qi Xiaoyuan had wanted to join the bidding as well. However, when he heard that Boss wanted to buy it, he gave up on the idea. He could fight with anyone, but he couldn't fight with his boss for this car. That was something only an idiot would do. Qi Xiaoyuan glanced at Wei Xiaofan, who was beside him. Wei Xiaofan was a complete idiot. If he knew that he wanted to compete with Boss for Boss's car, do you want to bid? Wei Xiaofan seemed to recall something as he turned to face Qi Xiaoyuan. Upon hearing this, Qi Xiaoyuan hurriedly waved his hands. No, no, I don't want it. I definitely don't want it. You don't want it? Wei Xiaofan was in disbelief. This fellow would spend a lot of money to compete for anything that was related to Boss. He had even spent a lot of money to buy an autograph. This was Boss's first car. How could Qi Xiaoyuan not want it? If Qi Xiaoyuan hadn't said it himself, he wouldn't have believed it. Did I hear you wrongly? Are you saying that you don't want it? Wei Xiaofan asked Qi Xiaoyuan. Yes, yes, yes. You heard me right. I don't want it. Don't worry, I definitely won't fight for it, Qi Xiaoyuan said anxiously. Qi Xiaoyuan's heart was bleeding. It wasn't that he didn't want it, but he didn't dare to. Boss had already said that she had to get her hands on this racing car no matter what. If he were to fight for it, wouldn't he be a fool? Therefore, even if he had to cut his heart and dig out his flesh, or be struck by lightning, he couldn't accept it this time. Whoever wanted it was a dog. You really don't want it? Will you regret it? Wei Xiaofan was still uncertain. Chapter 788. Based on Wei Shufeng's understanding of Qi Xiaoyuan, he wouldn't want this car unless the sun rose from the west. I don't want it. Aren't you annoying? I want to be a dog. Qi Xiaoyuan frowned impatiently. Sure. It's great that you don't want it. Don't regret it. Wei Shufeng grinned. Wei Shufeng's eyes trailed to Lin Yan. He would fight for this car at all costs. He couldn't allow boss's car to fall into the hands of anyone else. It had to be his. Both of you. Suddenly, the director coughed softly. I didn't say that I could sell it to you. Director, are you not willing to sell it? It will be troublesome to ship it back after filming. Besides. Lin Yan blurted out anxiously. She really hoped that she could keep the car. However, if the director wasn't willing to sell it, there was nothing she could do. Before Lin Yan could finish her sentence, the director interjected, "Of course I'll sell it. Why would I want it? I was just saying. It would be great if someone could take over the car and save the production team some money." He just wanted to make a profit. Lin Yan was speechless. Was there something wrong with the director's head? Director, name a price. I have to have this car, Lin Yan said resolutely. Alright, I won't take your money. I'll just use your manpower, resources, and financial resources to recoup my losses. The director nodded and said a number. Wei Shufeng's eyes trailed to Lin Yan after the director announced the price. No matter how much Lin Yan offered, he had to outbid her. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled up when she heard the price. She walked over to Wei Shufeng and extended her hand. Wei Shufeng, who was puzzled, instinctively reached out to shake her hand. Wei Shufeng, congratulations. It's yours. Lin Yan grinned at him. Huh? Wei Shufeng was taken aback. What did she mean? This car is mine? Wei Shufeng was puzzled. Yeah. Lin Yan nodded eagerly. It's yours. Please treat it well. You don't want it anymore? Wei Shufeng gasped. I'm not worthy. Lin Yan replied solemnly. Wei Shufeng looked perplexed, as he had no idea what was going on. Qi Xiaoyuan's mind went blank. Had he heard wrongly? Boss didn't want that car anymore? What kind of joke was that? That was Boss's first car in the WZ team. He had used that silver car to conquer countless tracks. To Qi Xiaoyuan, the value of this racing car wasn't just limited to its monetary value. It was also filled with endless glory. Lin Yan glanced at the silver car with a helpless expression on her face. Lin Yan had known that the car wouldn't be cheap, but she hadn't expected that the director would demand an exorbitant price. Even if her current income was okay, she still couldn't afford it. Even if she could afford it, she couldn't bear to take it out. Hence, it was better to let Wei Shufeng have the car. Lin Yan, what's the meaning of this? Wei Shufeng snapped back to his senses as he stared at Lin Yan. Lin Yan shrugged and grinned at him. As the saying goes, a gentleman doesn't snatch what others like. Since you like it so much, I won't fight for it. Lin Yan shrugged and grinned at Wei Shufeng. As the saying goes, a gentleman doesn't snatch what others like. Since you like it so much, I won't fight for it. Wei Shufeng frowned. He didn't believe that Lin Yan would be so kind. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled into a smile. Wei Shufeng was speechless, Qi Xiaoyuan was speechless. Chapter 789. Wei Shufeng and Qi Xiaoyuan hadn't expected that Lin Yan, who had been so confident just a second ago, would suddenly change her attitude. She was too stingy. Lin Yan couldn't be compared to Wei Shufeng and Qi Xiaoyuan. They didn't have to worry about money, but she had to take care of her family. Fortune brings wealth in dollars, euros, and yuan. There were too many mouths to feed. She didn't have that much money to spare. Are you sure you don't want to compete for it? Wei Shufeng didn't seem too sure. Don't worry, Lin Yan replied resolutely. She wanted to compete for it, but her money wouldn't allow her to. Director, this car is mine. Wei Shufeng nodded his head in relief. Then, he turned to the director. Wei Shufeng was determined to win this car. Even if Lin Yan fought for it, he would just have to fork out a little more money. Lin Yan's decision to rein in at the last moment was a wise one. Both of them could save some money. Hold on. Qi Xiaoyuan, who was standing beside Wei Shufeng, bellowed at the top of his lungs. Wei Shufeng was startled as he glanced at Qi Xiaoyuan in bewilderment. Miss Lin Yan, if you don't want it. I want it. I will compete with you. Qi Xiaoyuan rubbed his palms together. Qi Xiaoyuan had thought that Lin Yan wanted to compete for it, so he had backed out. Now that Lin Yan had backed out, how could Qi Xiaoyuan let go of this opportunity? This was boss's ride, he really wanted it, okay? Are you joking? Wei Shufeng frowned. He had reminded Qi Xiaoyuan many times, but Qi Xiaoyuan had been the one who had said that he didn't want to compete for it. Do I look like I'm joking? Qi Xiaoyuan looked serious. Wei Shufeng glanced at Qi Xiaoyuan and quipped, do you remember what you said just now? You said that you are a dog if you want it. Wei Shufeng was speechless, Lin Yan was speechless, Lin Yan's gaze involuntarily landed on Qi Xiaoyuan. She was speechless. Why was this dog barking so rhythmically? In the end, Wei Shufeng won Lin Yan's silver car. Qi Xiaoyuan had been chased out by Wei Shufeng. He hadn't even had a chance to bid for it. After all, things had to be done according to the rules. This guy didn't even participate in the bidding in the beginning, so there was no reason for him to snatch the item in the end. After the verbal agreement with the director, Wei Shufeng was very excited. Qi Xiaoyuan snorted inwardly when he saw how excited Wei Shufeng was. Why are you so smug? You are a fake fan. By the way, there's something I want to discuss with you. Wei Shufeng glanced at Lin Yan. What is it? Asked Lin Yan. Wei Shufeng looked hesitant, as though he didn't know what to say. Lin Yan waited for a long time, but Wei Shufeng didn't say anything. Lin Yan. I'm sorry. Just as Lin Yan was about to lose her patience, Wei Shufeng spoke awkwardly. Lin Yan's expression changed when she heard him. She thought that she had misheard him. Given Wei Shufeng's character, why would he apologize? Besides, what kind of apology was that? End of the chapter. Chapter 790. Why are you apologizing out of nowhere? Lin Yan was puzzled. I owe you an apology, and I'm returning it today. Wei Shufeng gazed at Lin Yan intently. I've had some misunderstandings about you. Wei Shufeng's face flushed as he recalled the past. All along, Wei Shufeng had assumed that Lin Yan had gotten into racing because she wanted to get close to him. However, during the competition, he had finally realized that he had been wrong. More than once, he had chided Lin Yan and told her not to use such methods to get close to him. After learning the truth, Wei Shufeng had wanted to bury himself in a hole. He had been so embarrassed. Lin Yan, on the other hand, had acted as though nothing had happened. It was as though she had never taken his prejudice and misunderstanding to heart. Lin Yan, I misunderstood you for a long time because of the racing. Wei Shufeng gritted his teeth and pressed on when Lin Yan remained silent. In his entire life, he had never apologized to anyone, especially to a woman. Racing? Lin Yan was startled for a moment before realization dawned on her. Wei Shufeng had been acting coy for so long. So this was what he was talking about. If Wei Shufeng hadn't mentioned it, she wouldn't have remembered. that's it? Lin Yan glanced at Wei Xiufeng. Yeah, that's it. Wei Xiufeng nodded. Lin Yan replied, it's fine. I forgive you. Wei Xiufeng was speechless. Why did he feel so upset even though he had been forgiven? Why hadn't this woman cared about him at all? Can I ask you something? Wei Xiufeng pondered for a moment before he spoke. What is it? Asked Lin Yan. Lin Yan, Yeva personally appointed you for this role. Wei Xiufeng blurted out. Lin Yan coughed softly and nodded. Yeah. Wei Xiufeng was puzzled and in disbelief. How could boss know Lin Yan? Although Lin Yan was an incredible racer and her racing skills were comparable to the top racers in the country, she was still worlds apart from boss. She shouldn't have known him. No matter what, Wei Xiufeng wanted to get to the bottom of this. Lin Yan, do you know Yeva? Wei Xiufeng asked Lin Yan. Lin Yan shook her head. I don't know him. Why did boss appoint you for this role? Wei Xiufeng was puzzled. This was something he couldn't understand. Perhaps Madame Yeva saw my performance and was amazed by it. She might even be a fan of mine, so she asked me to star in it, Lin Yan replied matter-of-factly. Wei Xiufeng remained silent as he stared at Lin Yan for a few seconds. Then, he pursed his lips and glanced at Lin Yan. Pretend that I didn't say anything. I don't believe you. Lin Yan sat in her silver car as she waited for her scenes to start. Below the stage, Wei Xiufeng was explaining the scenes to the director. As long as Lin Yan sat in the car, memories of when she had first joined the WZ team surfaced in her mind. Lin Yan remembered that when she had first joined the WZ team, they had been holding an international competition and had decided on the venue. Looking at the time, the venue of this year's International League should be, end of chapter. Chapter 791. A moment later, Lin Yan's expression changed. The Chinese country? After leaving the country, Lin Yan had assumed that she would never race again. Hence, she hadn't paid much attention to the racing industry. She had lost interest in the location of the international competition in the future. However, Lin Yan hadn't expected that the international competition would be held in the Chinese country this year. Lin Yan had assumed that she wouldn't have any contact with the racing industry after leaving the racing industry. That was one of the reasons she had hidden her identity. However, looking at it now, she realized that she had been too naive back then. Ever since she had started racing, racing had been a part of her life. Even though she had been banned from competing overseas and wanted to quit the industry completely, it had been a simple task. Lin Yan had assumed that the competition would be held in Europe or Australia. She hadn't expected that the international competition would be held in the Chinese country. If it had been held in the Chinese country, she might not have been able to keep her identity. If her identity was exposed and the whole world knew who she was, it wouldn't be easy for her to continue living a leisurely life as an actress in the Chinese country. Lin Yan couldn't help but sigh. It seemed like her leisurely days wouldn't last much longer. This year, China had become the host of the international competition. In terms of the level of the Chinese racing circle, it had nothing to do with being at the top. Although it was not at the bottom, it was still held in its own territory. As the host, if they were to lose too badly, at the same time, at the headquarters of the Chinese Racing Federation, the international competition was about to begin, so there was an emergency meeting at the headquarters. A group of senior executives was enraged. A white-haired old man in a suit bellowed, "This is too much. Do they really think that we don't have any experts in the Chinese country?" A middle-aged man had a cold glint in his eyes as he said in a deep voice, "I just confirmed some details of the international competition with the other participating countries." Their words were full of provocation, belittling our Hua Nation team to the point that we're worthless. Call those antique teams out. This time, no matter what, they have to compete. We can't let those foreign teams be so arrogant this time, because the International League is being held in our territory. We contacted those antique teams before, but they didn't care at all. In the past few years, those teams are no longer under our jurisdiction, and we can't mobilize them, the old man in the suit said helplessly. This is outrageous. Are we just going to let them provoke us like this? What do they think the Chinese racing industry is? What's more, we're the host this time. If we lose too badly, how are we going to explain to the fans in China? Old Li, why don't you make some arrangements to send the best teams with the most potential over here? Pick out the best racers from each team and form a new team. Sai, that's the only way. There's a racer with the surname Lin in this year's ranking competition. I heard that he's pretty good at racing. His performance last time was outstanding, and he attracted the attention of many teams. Although he can't be compared to those foreign racers, we can find more young racers with potential like him as substitutes. Chapter 792. The Racing Association was the governing body of the country's racing industry. It was also the only official organization of the country's racing industry. Every country had an official organization similar to the Racing Association in the country. Lin Yan had been banned by a foreign racing association in the past. All the racing associations in the world had close ties, and the international competition was organized by these official associations. The racing industry in the country had always been mediocre. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't at the bottom either. This time, as the host of the international competition, the Racing Association in the country had placed great importance on it. They had been busy preparing for it and had been in close contact with several foreign racing associations that had participated in the international competition. However, some foreign racing associations didn't think much of the racing industry in the country. Their words had inadvertently revealed their disdain, which had infuriated the Racing Association in the country. It would have been fine if this had happened under normal circumstances, but the Racing Association in the country was being looked down upon in its own territory. How could they tolerate this? I've heard that some foreign teams have arrived in China ahead of time. These teams have been restless ever since they arrived. They've been looking for trouble with the first-tier teams. They've already challenged a few first-tier teams. They're simply looking down on us. Guess what the guild in the foreign region that I contacted earlier said. Fortunately, the international competition is being held in China this time. The Chinese teams are basking in the limelight. Otherwise, none of the teams in China would have been able to enter the international competition. Many of the higher-ups slammed their hands on the table. In the past few years, the quality of the teams in the country had been average. It wouldn't have been a problem for them to enter the third level of the international competition. However, it would have been difficult for them to advance further. In the past few years, the major teams in the country had been developing well, and many excellent racers had appeared. It wouldn't have been a problem for them to enter the second level of the international competition. They might even be able to enter the first level of the international competition. They were aware of their own standards. All they wanted was for the teams in the country to break through the bottleneck and qualify for the first level of the international competition. However, they had said that if the international competition hadn't been held in the country, the teams in the country wouldn't have been able to enter the international competition. This was utter nonsense. No matter what, we have to enter the first level of the international competition in our own territory this year. The old man in the suit shouted coldly. It's hard to say at the moment. A middle-aged man replied solemnly, based on the standards of the country, it won't be a problem for us to achieve good results in the second level of the international competition. However, I'm afraid it will be difficult for us to compete in the first level of the international competition. The main problem is that the old teams are no longer under our jurisdiction. I have no idea what they are thinking. That's why I'm saying that we should call all the strongest teams in China over and have each team select one of their best racers to form a brand new team. That way, we still have a chance. I have some recollection of the racer with the surname Lin. I think she's an actress, but she doesn't seem to have a good reputation. Oh right, she's just a member of a high-level team. She's not even qualified to be a substitute. Her strength is not bad. Substitutes aren't official members, so the more the better. Find out which team the contestant with the surname Lin is from and invite them over. Let the people below make the arrangements. Chapter 793. At the filming location, Wei Shufeng's car sped towards the finish line. After some time, the car door swung open and Wei Shufeng, who was fully geared up, stepped out. Soon, more than 10 professional racers from various countries stepped forward, each of them wearing an indescribable look of joy on their faces. In a few seconds, Wei Shufeng was surrounded by the crowd and cheering. Wei Shufeng's lips curled into an obvious smile. Hold on. The director interrupted Wei Shufeng's performance. Director, is there a problem? Wei Shufeng glanced at the director, looking slightly puzzled. Wei Shufeng had thought that he had given his all to portray Lang Mang. He had been confident that he would be able to pass the scene in one take, but the director had interrupted him. Wei Shufeng, of course there's a problem. The director waved his hand and called out to Lin Yan, who was sitting in the car. Lin Yan, who had seen Wei Shufeng's performance, had noticed the problem even before the director had shouted for him to stop. Wei Shufeng's character, Lang Mang, was too normal. Although this was how he should be, it was contrary to the main plot of the movie. The main problem was that there was a huge problem with Wei Shufeng's expression. Wei Shufeng, look at her. Look at her. The director pointed at Lin Yan. Look at Lin Yan. Lang Mang looked puzzled, as he didn't understand the director's words. Why would he want to look at Lin Yan? No, no, no. The director shook his head frantically. You're wrong. You've made a huge mistake. Who are you? Me? Wei Shufeng frowned. I am Lang Mang. Wei Shufeng snapped back to his senses. The director pressed on. So who is she? She is your coach, Yeva. Why did you defeat such a strong opponent? Or rather, why did you defeat such a strong opponent? Was it because you wanted to win the competition? I don't think that's the case. Lin Yan shot a glance at the director. Although the director had made sense, it had been too brief. He hadn't conveyed the core idea to Wei Shufeng, so it was no wonder that Wei Shufeng was puzzled. Director, it's easy to understand. Lin Yan removed her helmet when she noticed that Wei Shufeng was still puzzled. Director, can I explain to Wei Shufeng? Lin Yan's eyes trailed to the director. The director glanced at Lin Yan suspiciously. Even Wei Shufeng, who was acting, didn't understand. He couldn't act the way he wanted, so how could Lin Yan? Wei Shufeng's acting skills and ability to understand the situation had to be the best. Right now, the director's greatest wish was for Lin Yan to act as Yeva well. He didn't expect her to feel the way he wanted her to, but she had to at least look the part. Lin Yan, speak. I do have some doubts, Wei Shufeng interjected before the director could speak. Lin Yan nodded and explained, actually, in this scene, Lang Mang met his nemesis. This nemesis had existed before his master, Yeva, left. Even after Yeva's guidance, Lang Mang still couldn't defeat his nemesis. Lang Mang had challenged Yeva to a duel, but Yeva had rejected him. She hadn't shown him any mercy. After Yeva had rejected him, Lang Mang had asked her when he would be qualified to challenge her. Chapter 794. Yeva's answer to that question was to wait until he defeated his opponent. The conversation between Lang Mang and Yeva is the main plot of the movie. Lang Mang defeating his opponent is the main plot. After that, Yeva will appear and compete with Lang Mang. This is the core plot. Wei Shufeng fell into deep thought after Lin Yan finished speaking. What happened after that? Lin Yan added, defeating his opponent and conquering the track wasn't Lang Mang's original intention. He didn't compete to win. He competed to fulfill his dream. His ultimate goal is for Yeva to keep her promise and compete with him on the track. You shouldn't be happy or excited after you win. Instead, Wei Shufeng glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan was expressionless. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Where are you? Wei Shufeng was taken aback by Lin Yan's words. Wei Shufeng wasn't the only one who was shocked. Even the director was shocked. The script he had given him hadn't been that detailed. The ending had been rather vague as well. It depended on the actors themselves. Hence, Wei Shufeng hadn't been able to portray the feeling that he wanted. In fact, even the director himself didn't know what he was looking for. However, what Lin Yan had said earlier, especially the last part. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Where are you? Yes, there was no mistake. That was the feeling that he wanted. This way, the plot and the performance would be able to achieve the desired effect. Yeva, as the core of the movie, would be even more convincing. The sudden surprise made the director forget to ask Lin Yan how she had known about Lang Mang and Yeva's past. Hold on, Lin Yan. How did you know about Boss and Lang Mang's relationship? The director didn't include such details in the script and analysis. Did you just imagine it? Wei Shufeng glanced at Lin Yan. No. I don't care how she did it. This is the feeling that I want. Wei Shufeng, follow this feeling and act according to Lin Yan's theme. I want this, the director said hastily. Wei Shufeng frowned as he studied Lin Yan in confusion. Lin Yan chuckled softly. Yeva told me herself. Have you forgotten that Yeva arranged for me to play this role? You have Boss's contact number? Wei Shufeng suddenly got excited. Lin Yan replied, of course. Didn't I tell you that Yeva told me herself? Lin Yan. Can you give me Boss's contact number? Wei Shufeng asked anxiously. I can't. Lin Yan shook her head. That's Yeva's private number. Without her permission, how could I tell anyone else? Lin Yan. Do me a favor. If you tell me your contact number, I will give you this amount. Wei Shufeng blurted out hurriedly. Lin Yan replied solemnly, leave it to me. Director, Wei Shufeng was speechless. The staff, no. Wei Shufeng shook his head. Lin Yan was dumbfounded. Was he going to go back on his word? He had promised to pay a huge sum of money for Yeva's contact information. Why couldn't he do it now? He wasn't a loyal fan. End of the chapter. Chapter 795. If I add Boss, I don't think she will accept me. Wei Shufeng frowned. Lin Yan shrugged. Then there's nothing I can do. Lin Yan, tell Boss to add me. As long as she does, I can double the amount. No, I can triple it. Wei Shufeng replied. Lin Yan glanced at Wei Shufeng. Don't worry, no problem. Leave it to me. If Yeva doesn't add you, I will refund you double the amount. Lin Yan was so excited that her hands were trembling. Did money just fall from the sky? All she had to do was log into her account and add Wei Shufeng's name. Wouldn't that be a piece of cake? If Wei Shufeng continued to offer her more money, she could even chat with him all night. She could even make him a king. Lin Yan, you said it, Wei Shufeng replied. I said it. If Yeva doesn't add you, I will refund you double the amount. No, I will refund you 10 times the amount. Lin Yan looked determined. Wei Shufeng, are you guys done? The director glanced at Wei Shufeng. Wei Shufeng looked apologetic as he replied, sorry, I'm ready. We can start now. Hold on. The director shook his head. Actually, I have Yeva's contact number. Lin Yan glared fiercely at the director. How could an international director compete with her? Lin Yan hurriedly said, Director, acting is the most important thing. Wei Shufeng has finally gotten into character. Hurry up and start. The director nodded. Yeah, let's get to work first. Wei Shufeng steadied his emotions for a moment before he started. Wei Shufeng stepped out of his car. A dozen professional racers from various countries surrounded him excitedly and cheered him on. Wei Shufeng was surrounded by the crowd. He had a faint smile on his face, but there was an indescribable, complicated look in his eyes. Just as everyone was cheering, Wei Shufeng gazed into the distance. Do I have the qualifications now? The director was taken aback by Wei Shufeng's words. There wasn't such a line. The director wanted to interrupt him, but for some reason, he felt that there was nothing wrong with Wei Shufeng's performance. Hence, he didn't say anything. Wei Shufeng gazed at the horizon. I've come. I've seen, I've conquered. Where have you been since then? Wei Shufeng murmured. Not bad. The director nodded discreetly. Although Wei Shufeng had copied Lin Yan's words, it felt good. He didn't seem pretentious at all. Instead, he seemed to be speaking from his heart. After some time, the sky gradually darkened. Wei Shufeng was the only one left on the track. After some time, Wei Shufeng leaned against his car, as though he was talking to it. I'm still waiting. What am I waiting for, who knows? I'm also waiting for a promise, perhaps. Suddenly, the roar of a racing car came from the hillside in the distance. Suddenly, Wei Shufeng's eyes lit up. He couldn't help but glance at the hill. Swoosh! A silver racing car, like a flying bird, leaped off the hill in an instant, drawing a mesmerizing arc in the air. The director was taken aback by this scene. This wasn't how the script was supposed to be. This was too fake. Chapter 796. Hadn't they agreed to let a professional racer complete this dangerous maneuver? Lin Yan was way too fierce. How could she be so good at racing? The silver car stopped and Yeva stepped out of the car. She crossed her arms and glanced at Wei Shufeng casually. Wei Shufeng's eyes gleamed with indescribable excitement. However, he quickly composed himself. You're here. I knew you would come. You and your teammate are not bad. Lin Yan's eyes swept across Wei Shufeng and the car behind him. Wei Shufeng was about to say something when Lin Yan removed her helmet. Wei Shufeng was startled. According to the script, Yeva shouldn't have removed her helmet. However, the director remained silent. As a professional actor, he had to continue acting. The director was dumbfounded. What was wrong with Lin Yan and Wei Shufeng? Why hadn't they followed the script? Was this what an actor should do? But, it did feel pretty good. After Yeva removed her helmet, Wei Shufeng was about to finish his sentence when Yeva gestured for him to keep quiet. Wei Shufeng was about to blurt out his lines when Lin Yan gestured for him to keep quiet. He had no choice but to shut his mouth. Congratulations. Lin Yan grinned at Wei Shufeng. Wei Shufeng felt conflicted. Lin Yan's words hadn't been in the script. She had completely messed up the conversation. Although Wei Shufeng wanted to stop, the director didn't stop him. Hence, he had no choice but to continue. However, Wei Shufeng didn't know how to respond to Lin Yan. Have you finished your apprenticeship? Wei Shufeng had no choice but to reply. Lin Yan grinned. You've matured. I've fulfilled my promise. Lin Yan put on her helmet and turned around to get into her silver car. Wei Shufeng got in the car as well. Lin Yan rolled down the window. Are you ready? Wei Shufeng remained silent as he gave her a thumbs up. Whoosh! Almost in an instant, the two cars charged forward at the same time. It had to be said that Wei Shufeng's racing skills were excellent. Although he couldn't be compared to a professional racer, he was more than capable under such circumstances. As the two cars sprinted towards the finish line, the director stood up excitedly and announced the perfect end of the scene. The ending of Legend would be the showdown between Yeva and Lang Mang. No one knew who would emerge victorious, and the audience would be left to wonder. It was an open ending. Although Lang Mang was the main character of this movie, everyone knew that Lang Mang's chances of winning against Yeva were slim. If Lang Mang won, there would be a lot of criticism. If Lang Mang lost, it wouldn't look good either. Hence, this ending was the best and most suitable scene to be used as the ending. Lin Yan, be careful. That's my car. After that, Wei Shufeng got out of the car hurriedly and went forward to check on her. Lin Yan was speechless. Great. Your performance was amazing. You exceeded my expectations. The director walked over to Lin Yan and Lang Mang with a smile. Lin Yan, in particular, had given him a pleasant surprise. Although Lin Yan hadn't followed the script and her lines had been shorter, it still felt good. Her portrayal was more realistic, especially when she removed her helmet. It was as though she was announcing the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. End of this chapter. Chapter 797. Yeva didn't have many scenes in the movie. She only had a few minutes at the end, but the essence and selling point of the movie was in these few minutes. The director didn't need many lines. What he wanted was an indescribable mood. Lin Yan had indeed made him feel that way in the last few minutes. This was exactly what he needed. After her scenes were over, Lin Yan left with Zhao Hongling and Duo. Today's filming had gone smoothly, especially for Lin Yan. It had been a piece of cake. Lin Yan knew what the director wanted her to feel. It was just a feeling, and she was acting herself. Hence, it wasn't difficult at all. Sister Yan, your acting was amazing. Duo exclaimed as she watched Lin Yan drive. It's really not bad, Zhao Hongling echoed from the second seat. Zhao Hongling had been a little taken aback when Lin Yan and Wei Shufeng had acted together. She had read the script carefully, so she knew every line that Lang Mang and Yeva had said. However, Lin Yan didn't follow the script at all. Instead, she chose to act on her own. However, the outcome was beyond Zhao Hongling's expectations. Lin Yan's mannerisms made her feel natural and comfortable. Zhao Hongling even got goosebumps at some point in time. Sister Yan, your acting was amazing. You must have put in a lot of effort. Duo exclaimed excitedly. I almost forgot that you were acting when you were acting with Wei Shufeng. I thought that you were Yeva. Lin Yan stopped the car at a red light and turned to Zhao Hongling and Duo. What were you talking about? Duo was speechless. Zhao Hongling was speechless. Focus on driving. I don't have a driver's license for you to revoke. Zhao Hongling chuckled softly. Lin Yan smiled awkwardly when she heard Zhao Hongling. Zhao Hongling's driver's license seemed to have become an obsession. Every time she saw Zhao Hongling, she had to mention it. After sending Zhao Hongling and Duo home, Lin Yan returned to Cloud Manor. The ragdoll and orange kitten were eating in the cage. When Lin Yan entered the room, both kittens meowed at the same time. Lin Yen walked to the cage and opened it. The ragdoll and orange kitten got out of the cage and rubbed their heads against Lin Yan's pants. While he was stroking the cat, his phone rang. "Hey, sister." Heilifeng's voice came through the phone. "What happened?" Lin Yen frowned when she heard the anxiety in Heilifeng's voice. Could it be that something had happened to the team again? Logically speaking, it shouldn't have happened. "Sister, something has happened. Something big has happened," Heilifeng said hurriedly. "Calm down. What happened?" "Tell me slowly," Lin Yen replied softly. Before Heilifeng could reply, Mo Shuyun replied, "It's fine. Goddess, don't worry. It's nothing serious." "Captain, my sister has to know," Heilifeng said anxiously. Mo Shuyun quipped, "Why are you so naughty? You're so immature. You're making your sister worried." Chapter 798. Sister, something serious has happened, Heilifeng quipped. "What happened? Tell me." Lin Yen was impatient, so she wanted to slap Heilifeng to death. He kept saying that something serious had happened, but he couldn't get to the point. "Grandfather is in the hospital," Heilifeng replied. Lin Yen was startled by Heilifeng's words. Grandfather was in the hospital? Which hospital? "I'll head over right away," replied Lin Yen. When Lin Yen arrived at the hospital, Heilifeng and Mo Shuyun were already waiting for her. Heilifeng scurried over when he saw Lin Yen. "Sister, grandfather is in the hospital." Lin Yen glanced at Heilifeng. "Was he a repeater?" "Goddess, don't be anxious," Mo Shuyun said. Lin Yen didn't say anything else as she followed the two of them to the operating room. Lin Yen hadn't expected that things would be so serious. Her grandfather was in the operating room. The lights in the operating room were on, but the old master was still in surgery. Lin Yen and the others could only wait outside. What happened? Why did something happen to grandfather? Lin Yen glanced at Heilifeng and Mo Shuyun. Her grandfather had been full of energy and vigor not too long ago. How could he be in the operating room? Sister, who would have thought that this would be a long story? Heilifeng sighed heavily. Make it short, replied Lin Yen. Cut the crap. Mo Shuyun glanced at Heilifeng. You can't even speak properly. The old master fainted because he was angry. Yes, yes, yes. Captain, you're right. Grandfather fainted because he was so angry, quipped Heilifeng. He fainted because he was angry? Lin Yen looked even more puzzled after hearing Heilifeng's words. Now that the team was on the right track, how could he be so angry that he had to be hospitalized? Who angered him? Lin Yen stared at Heilifeng. Did you infuriate grandfather and send him to the hospital? Me? Heilifeng, who was startled, stared at Lin Yen in disbelief. Sister, are you kidding me? How could it be me? Am I that unfilial? I wouldn't dare disobey grandfather's orders. I wouldn't dare to beat a dog if grandfather asked me to. How could it be me? Goddess, I can testify for Heilifeng. It really wasn't him. He's probably the one who sent himself to the hospital. Mo Shuyun sighed heavily. It's uncle and He Mingkai's fault. Heilifeng explained hurriedly. Is it them? Lin Yen fell into deep thought. After such a long time, he had almost forgotten about this pair of father and son. Why? Asked Lin Yen. Not sure. Heilifeng shook his head. Grandfather, uncle, and He Mingkai were in the house. I was in the living room when I heard grandfather arguing. He seemed to be talking about shares. Then, grandfather kicked uncle and He Mingkai out of the house. I had just closed the door when grandfather passed out. Lin Yan's eyes gleamed coldly. He Xiong and He Mingkai are really despicable. How could they infuriate the old master so badly? They are despicable. Mo Shuyun chimed in. Lin Yan had no idea why the old master had been so angry or what He Mingkai and He Xiong had said. She wasn't interested in finding out either. The most important thing now was to check on the old master's health. However, everything could only be known after the surgery was completed. Should we inform Auntie? Asked He Lifeng. Lin Yan pondered for a moment before shaking her head. Not yet. Let's wait and see. If her mother knew that her grandfather had been hospitalized, she would probably go after He Mingkai and He Xiong. Chapter 799. Although He Muyun was usually soft and easy to talk to, she wouldn't give up easily when something had to do with her grandfather. Lin Yan didn't want her mother to get angry, nor did she want her mother to worry. Hence, she decided to wait and see. After waiting for about 2 hours, the lights in the operating theater were still on, and the surgery was still going on. This made Lin Yan and He Lifeng even more worried. The longer the surgery was, the greater the risk. Why isn't the surgery over yet? Did something happen to grandfather? He Lifeng looked anxious. Mo Shuyun glanced at He Lifeng. You're such a filial child. Before He Lifeng could respond, Lin Yan interjected, shut your mouth. He Lifeng was speechless. He really didn't mean that. Who would have thought that He Mingkai would be that kind of person? Before he left, he called grandfather an old fool. When grandfather is fine, I will kill him. He Lifeng gritted his teeth. Forget it. Mo Shuyun shook his head. Forget it. How can you just let it go? He Lifeng hissed coldly. What I mean is, you should go back and kill him. Forget it, with your small physique, I think He Mingkai will only take 3 punches at most. After 3 punches, you might have to enter the operating theater, Mo Shuyun said. Before He Lifeng could respond, the lights outside the operating room went off. Not long after, the door of the operating theater opened, and several doctors walked out of the operating theater. Who is He Dingkuan's family member? The middle-aged doctor asked. I'm He Dingkuan's granddaughter. Lin Yan stood up immediately. I'm his grandson. He Lifeng blurted out anxiously. The doctor eyed He Lifeng strangely before he turned to Lin Yan. Follow me. The doctor led Lin Yan and the others to his department. The doctor glanced at Lin Yan and said, I didn't expect Miss Lin Yan's grandfather to be in the emergency room. Miss Lin Yan, I'm your fan. Hello, thank you for your love and support. Doctor, how is my grandfather? Lin Yan couldn't care less about her fans. Miss Lin Yan, your grandfather suffered a cerebral hemorrhage because he was too emotional. The doctor fell silent for a moment before he answered. Cerebral hemorrhage? Is it serious? He Lifeng hurriedly asked the doctor. Cerebral vascular rupture. Do you think it's serious? The doctor frowned. Doctor, ignore him. His brain development has been delayed since he was young. How is my grandfather now? Was the surgery successful? Asked Lin Yan. The doctor nodded and replied, Miss Lin Yan, the surgery was considered a success. However, we still need to observe the patient for some time. He is still unconscious, so we will see when he wakes up. Then, is my grandfather in danger? Lin Yan pressed on. He was sent here in time, and the surgery was quite successful. My life shouldn't be in danger for the time being. Let's observe him first and wait for the patient to wake up, the doctor explained. Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief when she heard the doctor. The surgery was relatively successful, and there was no danger to his life. This was already a blessing in disguise. Doctor, when will my grandfather wake up? He Lifeng asked the doctor. I'm not sure yet. It depends on the situation. No one can guarantee anything, the doctor said. Ah. Isn't my grandfather in a vegetative state? What if he never wakes up? He Lifeng was stunned. Can you shut your foul mouth? Mo Shuyun glared at He Lifeng. Chapter 800. He Lifeng realized that he had said too much, especially when Lin Yan and Mo Shuyun were glaring at him. He finally shut his mouth. Although he didn't know why, He Lifeng felt that if he continued, he might end up staying in the same ward as his grandfather. Of course, he didn't want to be hospitalized. Doctor, sorry to trouble you. I hope that you can take care of my grandfather, Lin Yan told the middle-aged doctor. The middle-aged doctor nodded and replied, Miss Lin Yan, don't worry. This is our duty. Besides, his condition isn't that bad. If things go well, the old master will wake up in a few days and recuperate for a while. Then, he will be fine. Before Lin Yan could respond, He Lifeng, who had already shut his mouth, blurted out, what if things go badly? The middle-aged doctor's eyes trailed to He Lifeng. The corners of his mouth twitched as though he wanted to say something. However, he didn't say anything in the end. If things go badly, you will stay in the same ward as your grandfather. That way, you can take care of him. Are you satisfied? Lin Yan glanced at He Lifeng. He Lifeng shuddered when he saw Lin Yan's unfriendly gaze. Yes. I am, doctor, can we go and see the old master now? Asked Mo Shuyun. Not yet. You can go and settle the paperwork first. I will call you when the time comes, replied the middle-aged doctor. Thank you. Lin Yan nodded and led He Lifeng and Mo Shuyun away to settle the paperwork. Goddess, I have something to tell you. Outside the hospital, Mo Shuyun glanced at Lin Yan and said, I just received a text message. He Xiong and his son, He Mingkai, are holding a celebration party to celebrate our promotion. Lin Yan glanced at the text on Mo Shuyun's phone. Lin Yan sneered coldly. This father and son are really interesting. They made grandfather so angry. Not only did they not come to the hospital, but they are also holding a celebration party. I have a feeling that something is amiss. Mo Shuyun pondered for a moment before he replied. He Lifeng said that the old master was sent to the hospital because of the stock issue. Now, the father and son are holding a celebration party. Don't you think it's strange? Yes, it's because of the shares. I heard it clearly. It seems like eldest uncle sold his shares at a high price. He Lifeng replied. Let's not talk about that for now. They didn't invite you to the celebration tonight. Mo Shuyun glanced at Lin Yan. In the past, even if He Xiong and He Mingkai had invited her, she wouldn't have agreed. However, things were different now. The Aurora motorcade team had nothing to do with He Xiong and his son. Why would they hold a celebration banquet? Even if they did, it would be handled by someone else or she would organize it herself. Not to mention, this pair of father and son made the old man so angry that he was sent to the hospital and almost lost his life, but they were still holding a celebration party with great fanfare. Chapter 801. Mo Shuyun replied, the location is at the He family's mansion. The time is 7:30 p.m. Goddess, you can come over immediately. He Mingkai, that be asterisk starred. Just you wait. If I don't *ck him during the celebration tonight, I'll change my surname to his. When that time comes, none of you can stop me. Don't blame me for not showing mercy. He Lifeng was furious. Lin Yan sighed and glanced at Mo Shuyun helplessly. Shuyun, you have to keep an eye on him. Mo Shuyun nodded and replied, Goddess, don't worry. I will definitely watch over Xiaofan. I won't let him do anything rash. Lin Yan replied helplessly, you misunderstood me. I mean, you have to keep an eye on him. He might be out of his mind. Don't scare others when he goes out. Goddess, I understand. Mo Shuyun grinned at Lin Yan. He Lufeng was speechless. He Lufeng was dumbfounded as he stared at Lin Yan. How can you talk to your brother like that? Are you my biological sister? I'm your F***king cousin. Lin Yan's heart twitched. Why hadn't she realized that He Lufeng was a retard? His brain was even better than Pei Yutong's. He Lufeng and Pei Yutong were the biological brothers who had been separated for many years. She would really have to ask her second uncle if He Lufeng had been adopted. So what if I'm your cousin? I'm also your sister. I don't care. You're my biological sister. He Lufeng blurted out anxiously. Be good. I'll go back first. Call me if you need anything, replied Lin Yan. Okay, sister. No problem. He Lufeng gestured for her to leave it to him. After Lin Yan left, Mo Shuyun stared at He Lufeng and clicked his tongue. He Lufeng, I really envy you for having such a sister. What's wrong? He Lufeng was puzzled. She's beautiful and kind, Mo Shuyun lamented. Why do you say that? He Lufeng was puzzled. She didn't beat you to death. Isn't that because she's beautiful and kind? Mo Shuyun stroked his chin. Lin Yan was waiting at a red light when her phone rang. She picked up her phone and saw that it was Boss. Hello, Boss. Lin Yan answered the call. Do you have time? The man's indifferent voice sounded. Lin Yan had no idea what her boss meant when he asked if she had time. She merely replied, Boss, what can I do for you? The company plans to send you on a business trip. Lin Yan was startled. Business trip? Where are you going? Who are you going with? Lin Yan asked instinctively. Abroad, with me, a few days. Lin Yan was speechless. What kind of joke was this? She would be gone on a business trip with him for a few days. When she returned, he would eat her alive. She couldn't afford to go on such a trip. Boss, I'm sorry. I've been busy lately, so I can't travel. The man on the other end of the phone was silent for a moment before he finally said, Okay, I got it. Pay more attention to your safety. Before Lin Yan could respond, the call had been hung up. Lin Yan set her phone aside. She had to find a time to talk to her boss. She was only a translator, so she hadn't told him that she was going on a business trip. Cloud Manor, Ling Yu was sitting next to the computer in her room. When she saw Lin Yan, she immediately rose and glanced at her. Sister Yan, did the filming go well? Lin Yan nodded slightly. How could it not go well? This was probably the smoothest time since her debut. Chapter 802. It went well. Lin Yan grinned. Sister Yan, there's news about Lin Shuya. Ling Yu stood up and glanced at Lin Yan. I think Lin Shuya will leave the entertainment industry for a while. Lin Yan had expected Lin Shuya to leave the entertainment industry. Angel's Shelter had been exposed at the charity event, which had affected Lin Shuya greatly. It would be a good choice to leave the entertainment industry. Lin Shuya announced that she would be joining a professional racing team. I think she has teamed up with a few professional teams and sent many talents to her team. It seems like she has some connections with a racing guild in the country, Ling Yu quipped. Lin Yan naturally knew about the racing guild in the country. Every country had a professional racing guild. They were like the officials of the racing industry and played an important role in the racing industry. For example, the the most prestigious international competition in the racing world was jointly organized by the racing guilds of various countries. Lin Yan had been banned from competing overseas because of a foreign racing guild. Only a racing guild had the authority to do so. To a certain extent, the racing guilds in every country were united. All the teams in the world were under the jurisdiction of these racing guilds. For example, racers like Lin Yan, who had been banned from competing overseas, would be recognized by the other countries' racing guilds. They wouldn't allow banned racers to compete in any competition. Lin Yan was rather surprised that Lin Shuya would join a professional team at this stage of the game. However, Lin Yan didn't care. She wasn't interested in what Lin Shuya was doing. It had nothing to do with her. "Sister Yan, did your grandfather get hospitalized?" Ling Yu smiled at Lin Yan. Lin Yan, who was startled by Ling Yu's question, turned to look at Ling Yu in astonishment. Only she, Xiaofan, and a few others had known that her grandfather had been hospitalized. Even her own mother hadn't known about it. How had Ling Yu known? Ling Yu chuckled when she noticed Lin Yan's expression. "Sister Yan, have you forgotten about me? I have a powerful intelligence network." Ling Yu's intelligence network belonged only to herself. Even the Pei family wasn't aware of it. Ling Yu had told her this before, but she hadn't expected Ling Yu's intelligence network to be so detailed. Ling Yu had already found out shortly after her grandfather had been sent to the hospital. "You're way too terrifying," Lin Yan muttered. In front of this girl, everything seemed to become transparent, as if she knew everything. "Sister Yan, you have to be more careful. I have a feeling that Lin Shuya is up to something. She might be targeting you," said Ling Yu after some thought. Needless to say, having a manager like Ling Yu was really invincible. She knew everything and could make effective decisions in the shortest time possible. Moreover, Ling Yu was an all-rounder. Not only did she know about the entertainment industry, but she also knew everything about the racing industry. "I will." Lin Yan nodded at Ling Yu. That night, Lin Yan arrived at the He family mansion at 7:30 p.m. He Xiong and his son were holding a banquet at the old residence tonight. She wanted to see what this pair of father and son were up to. Lin Yan had just arrived at the He family's mansion when she bumped into 3 other team members who had come to meet her. Chapter 803. Sister Yan. One of the young team members greeted Lin Yan with a smile. "Goddess." Another team member replied. "Fairy sister." The last member of the team stared at Lin Yan excitedly. Lin Yan felt uneasy when she heard their nicknames. She smiled awkwardly and greeted them. The celebration party was held in the old mansion. There was no one else around, as all the members of the Aurora team were present. Lin Yan spotted He Xiong and He Mingkai the moment she entered the house. He Xiong and He Mingkai merely glanced at Lin Yan, but they didn't greet her. "Sister, you're here." He Lufeng ran over and glared at He Mingkai, who wasn't too far away. Mo Shuyun and the others entered the house as well. Lin Yan didn't say anything when she arrived. Instead, her eyes darted to He Xiong and He Mingkai. She didn't need to say anything. Everything was written in her eyes. "Who asked you to come?" He Xiong, who seemed uncomfortable under Lin Yan's gaze, suddenly stood up from the couch. His eyes were filled with disdain and disgust as he glared at Lin Yan. He Mingkai glanced at Lin Yan and sneered coldly. "I seem to recall that I didn't invite you to the celebration party. Why did you shamelessly show up?" Lin Yan glanced at He Xiong and He Mingkai expressionlessly. "Do I need an invitation to attend the celebration party?" "Lin Yan, let me tell you something. The He family team has nothing to do with you now. If you want to survive in the He family team, you'd better listen to me. Otherwise, you'll be fired." He Mingkai glanced at Lin Yan with a faint smile. Let's not talk about this. I want to ask you about grandfather, Lin Yan replied softly. Don't you know your grandfather? Didn't you go to the hospital? He Xiong quipped. That's why you sent your father and grandfather to the hospital, Lin Yan quipped. He Xiong and He Mingkai didn't seem bothered by Lin Yan's words. Oh, Grandpa is too old. He can't think things through on his own. We can't do anything about it. What do you mean he was angered by me and my dad? Do you know how to talk like a human? He Mingkai sneered. Lin Yan nodded in response. Lin Yan knew what He Mingkai and He Xiong were thinking. They didn't care about the old master's life at all. Because of what had happened to the motorcade, they had been banished to the cold palace. Perhaps, they already bore a grudge against the old man and could not wait for the old man to die. Lin Yan, from today onwards, you will be a substitute for the He family team. You will also be in charge of the team's food and hygiene. When you can race again will depend on your performance, replied He Mingkai. He Mingkai, you must be joking. Mo Shuyun suddenly said, I'm confused. Who are you to say that? Why? He Xiong sneered coldly. Because we are the people in charge of the He family team. Manager? Everyone was taken aback by He Xiong's words. When had He Xiong and He Mingkai become the managers of the team? Let them see it. He Xiong glanced at He Mingkai. He Mingkai took out some documents and handed them to Mo Shuyun. Mo Shuyun was one of the shareholders of the He family team, so he had the right to read the documents. End of the chapter. Chapter 804. Mo Shuyun's expression changed when he read the document. He looked astonished and incredulous. Why? Do you know who we are now? He Mingkai sneered coldly. Hold on. Let me make a call. Mo Shuyun turned around and dialed the number. Mo Shuyun returned after a quarter of an hour. However, his expression didn't look too good. No wonder this father and son were so arrogant. They had someone to rely on. Mo Shuyun finally understood why the old master had been hospitalized. He Xiong was really audacious. He had sold 20% of his shares. Under normal circumstances, selling his shares wouldn't have been a problem. However, the other party had acquired all the shares. Now, the He family team had changed owners. What's wrong? Lin Yan asked when she noticed Mo Shuyun's dark expression. They sold 20% of their shares, Mo Shuyun replied to Lin Yan. Lin Yan had been aware of this all along. They sold it to a team, and that team bought a lot of shares. In addition to He Xiong's 20% shares, the He family team is no longer under the old master's control. In a sense, there is a new owner, explained Mo Shuyun. After listening to Mo Shuyun's explanation, Lin Yan finally understood why her grandfather had been hospitalized because of He Xiong and He Mingkai. It wasn't because He Mingkai had called her an old fool. It was because of the He family team. How can you face the old master by doing this? Mo Shuyun glared at He Xiong and He Mingkai. He Mingkai replied nonchalantly, what a joke. The other team is rich and powerful. They can invest a lot of money in our team and help us attract more sponsors. The old master can just lie down and collect money, yet he isn't satisfied. Who else can he blame? Besides, all of us are beneficiaries. From today onwards, our team's salary will triple. Triple? Many of the team members glanced at each other. If that was the case, they could accept it. The new owner of the team had changed, but they had invested a lot of money. That was a good thing. The He family team had become an elite team, so they needed more money. Lin Yan, do you remember what I said? Asked He Mingkai. Before Lin Yan could respond, He Lifeng interjected coldly, He Mingkai, are you talking to a human being? Are you an animal or not? You made Grandpa so angry that he went to the hospital and almost lost his life, and now you're still farting here. He Mingkai turned to glare at He Lifeng and sneered coldly. He Lifeng, it seems like you don't want to stay in the team anymore. He Mingkai, do you believe that I will kill you today? He Lifeng rolled up his sleeves, looking like he was going to kill him. You? I think you're itching for a beating. He Lifeng scoffed disdainfully. Given He Lifeng's character, he could defeat him with one hand. Everyone, watch. If I don't kill him today, my surname won't be He. He Lifeng strode toward He Mingkai. He Lifeng suddenly halted and glanced at Mo Shuyun and Lin Yan. Let me tell you something. Don't hold me back. If I don't kill him today, I will change my surname. Lin Yan replied, you already have his surname. To those who are waiting for updates, I would like to recommend a novel called My Heart by Misha. If you're interested, you can read it. Introduction, why me? House Duo was puzzled. You're the only girl who confessed to me during the interview. Chi Tong explained. I revoke what I said. House Duo was filled with regret. It's been too long, so the revocation function has lost its effect. Also, since you like me, we're mutually in love. Chi Tong was shameless. What is this? House Duo blinked. My heart is moved by you. Chi Tong said affectionately. End of chapter. Chapter 806. He Mingkai's punch was in Lin Yan's palm. You. Do you have a death wish? He Mingkai glared at Lin Yan. However, no matter how hard He Mingkai tried, Lin Yan was like a mountain that gripped his fist like a tiger's mouth. He Mingkai tried to retract his fist, but it wouldn't budge at all. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't do anything about it. F***ck, Mo Shuyun was slightly taken aback. He had thought that Lin Yan was just a girl who didn't have much strength. If she were to fight He Mingkai, she would definitely be at a disadvantage. However, Mo Shuyun realized how wrong he was when he saw the scene in front of him. She wasn't a weak woman at all. She was a tigress. Lin Yan didn't look like an ordinary person at all. She must have been trained. Lin Yan, do you have a death wish? Let go of me. He Mingkai, who felt embarrassed, bellowed angrily at Lin Yan. You talk too much. Lin Yan glanced at him coldly. What did you say? He Mingkai bellowed. Lin Yan didn't continue. Instead, she exerted some force in her palm. Ah! As Lin Yan moved, He Mingkai howled in agony. Lin Yan's palm seemed to contain a huge force, and He Mingkai felt as though his fist was about to be crushed by Lin Yan. He Mingkai had never imagined that a girl like Lin Yan would have such terrifying strength. He was a man, yet he couldn't break free from Lin Yan's grip. Lin Yan, what are you trying to do? Do you have a death wish? He Mingkai, who was flustered, yelled at Lin Yan, let go of Mingkai. Lin Yan obeyed and loosened her grip. Only then did He Mingkai's wailing stop. After regaining his freedom, He Mingkai glared at Lin Yan. He was about to say something when he saw Lin Yan raise her arm. Before he could figure out what was happening, he heard a crisp slap. Then, he saw stars and his mind went blank. Everyone watched as Lin Yan released He Mingkai's fist and slapped him hard across his face. Lin Yan's slap made He Mingkai spin on the spot. This scene caused everyone present to be completely dumbfounded. A single slap had caused He Mingkai to spin on the spot. No one had expected that Lin Yan would really attack him. This slap is for grandfather. Lin Yan stood expressionlessly next to He Mingkai as she spoke mildly. You. Lin Yan, are you out of your mind? How dare you hit me? He Mingkai rubbed his bleeding nose and bellowed at Lin Yan. Bang! He Mingkai had just finished speaking when Lin Yan clenched her fist and punched him in the face. He Mingkai was sent flying by Lin Yan's punch and crashed into a mahogany table nearby. This punch was for He Lifeng. Lin Yan strode over to He Mingkai. He Mingkai had just stood up when Lin Yan grabbed his collar. Swoosh! With another punch, He Mingkai was dumbfounded. This punch was for, Lin Yan was puzzled. Who was this punch for? He Mingkai was speechless, Mo Shuyun was speechless, He Lifeng was speechless, everyone was speechless. Chapter 807. Help me. This punch was for me. He Lifeng blurted out anxiously. Mo Shuyun glanced at He Lifeng. Didn't I help you just now? He Mingkai punched me, so Sister Yan punched him twice. Is there a problem with that? Asked He Lifeng. Mo Shuyun pondered it for a moment before replying, I don't think there's a problem. Okay. Lin Yan nodded. Okay, this punch was for He Lifeng too. Everyone was speechless. How could she do that? Lin Yan glanced at He Mingkai, who was starting to panic. She threw another punch at him. However, just as her fist was about to hit He Mingkai, it stopped abruptly. Forget it. This punch was for me, but you really don't have the right to make me hit you. Lin Yan lifted He Mingkai as though he was a chicken and tossed him away. Seeing this, the crowd could not help but gasp. She was too ruthless. She had beaten He Mingkai up so badly, yet Lin Yan had said that He Mingkai didn't have the right to make her hit him. He didn't have the right to make her hit him? She had almost beaten that unlucky kid to death. Lin Yan. He Xiong instinctively walked over to Lin Yan as he bellowed angrily. Lin Yan's eyes trailed to He Xiong as she sneered coldly. Why? Do you want to give it a try? He Xiong was taken aback when he heard that. He halted abruptly. Judging by Lin Yan's expression, she didn't look like she was joking. He Xiong's face turned ashen as he strode over to He Mingkai. After helping He Mingkai up, He Xiong glared at Lin Yan. Alright, Lin Yan. You will never be able to make a comeback in the He family team. Don't even think about racing for the rest of your life. I will make you work for the He family team for the rest of your life. Upon hearing this, Mo Shuyun's expression changed slightly. He Xiong was indeed in charge of the He family team. As long as Lin Yan was with them and He Xiong didn't want her to step on the track, she wouldn't be allowed to compete. He Xiong, don't forget that without Lin Yan, the He family team wouldn't have become a top team. If you don't let Lin Yan compete, the He family team will be crippled. He Xiong sneered coldly. Do you think the He family team is still the same as before? Now that Lin Shuya was in charge of the He family team, she had invested a large amount of money into the team. Mo Shuyun wanted to retort, but Lin Yan grinned. In that case, I will quit the team. Quit? He Xiong sneered. Dream on. Do you think the He family team is a place where you can come and go as you please? Am I wrong? Asked Lin Yan. Lin Yan, don't forget that you signed an exclusive contract with the team. If you want to leave, you can. However, you will have to pay a huge sum of money. Once you pay, you can leave, said He Xiong. Pay? Lin Yan glanced at He Xiong. It's almost dawn. Are you still asleep? Asking her to pay for the damages was an international joke. Once the money was in her pocket, it belonged to her. She could only take it in. How could she leave? Not a chance. Lin Yan, if you want to leave the team and refuse to pay according to the contract, we will have to take legal action. He Xiong sneered coldly. Chapter 808. Lin Yen shrugged. Where is the contract? Show it to everyone. Lin Yen, I think you won't give up until all hope is gone. He Xiong quipped, you want the contract? No problem. He Xiong glanced at He Mingkai, whose face was swollen. Mingkai, get Lin Yan's contract. Okay, He Mingkai nodded and walked into the room. He Mingkai returned with a frown on his face. Dad. I didn't see Lin Yan's contract. What? He Mingkai was startled. He didn't see Lin Yan's contract? Lin Yan sneered in disdain. Are you guys dumb? This is my family team. Why would I sign a contract? Impossible. A cold glint appeared in He Xiong's eyes. The team has its own rules. Not to mention you, even we have signed a contract. The old man said that you have already signed the contract. It can't be fake. Then you can ask grandfather for it when he wakes up, Lin Yen replied calmly. Lin Yen scanned the crowd and said, I will form a brand new Aurora team. Is there anyone who wants to leave with me? Me. I will definitely follow in your footsteps. Mo Shuyun blurted out anxiously. Mo Shuyun, you signed a contract. If you want to leave, you have to pay the penalty fee, He Xiong hissed coldly. Mo Shuyun stared at He Xiong as though he was an idiot. He couldn't help but spit out, He Xiong, are you AF * king idiot? I'm a shareholder of the He family team. I'm a shareholder. I signed a shareholder's contract, not an ordinary contract. Do you think I won't beat you up if you ask me to pay the penalty fee? Dad. Have you forgotten? Mo Shuyun is indeed a shareholder. He didn't sign an ordinary contract. He Mingkai whispered awkwardly to He Xiong. He Xiong suddenly recalled that Mo Shuyun was indeed a shareholder. Sister, I want to join your Aurora team. He Lufeng blurted out excitedly. Lin Yen sized He Lufeng up unconsciously. No. She didn't want to, sister, I have potential. He Lufeng blurted out anxiously when he noticed the change in Lin Yan's expression. Lin Yen stammered, no, you're not. He Lufeng was speechless. He Lufeng, you signed a contract. Do you think it's that easy for you to leave? How ridiculous. At this point, He Xiong suddenly became silent. After a moment, He Xiong suddenly changed his words and said, you should leave. I don't want your compensation. He Lufeng was speechless. Mo Shuyun, everyone, this was undoubtedly a critical blow to He Lufeng. He had never thought that He Xiong would rather let him go without the penalty. He Lufeng rolled his eyes and shook his head. No, I'm not leaving. My contract hasn't expired yet. If you want me to leave, you have to compensate me. He Xiong said without hesitation, I'll pay. If it had been He Lufeng, he wouldn't have had to pay the penalty fee. As long as he left, it wouldn't have been a problem. He Lufeng was dumbfounded, so, He Xiong was willing to pay to let him go? Was he that disliked? Chapter 809. In the past, the He family team hadn't had enough racers. Whenever the He family team had a competition, He Lufeng would most likely compete. When the He family's team heard that He Lufeng was going to compete, they couldn't wait to decorate the track with lanterns and banners. He Lufeng had almost become the mascot of the opposing team. His appearance meant that they would win. He Lufeng's performance in the past had left a shadow in He Xiong and He Mingkai's hearts. As long as He Lufeng was willing to leave the He family team, they would be willing to pay him. He Xiong wouldn't dare ask for compensation. As long as He Lufeng left, he would burn incense and celebrate. You guys are ruthless. He Lufeng glared at He Xiong and He Mingkai as he gritted his teeth. He Lufeng had been worried about how he could leave with Lin Yan. Lin Yan didn't have a contract, but he had signed it. If He Xiong were to ask him for compensation, he wouldn't have the money to compensate him. However, He Lufeng hadn't expected that. He would think too much. Lin Yan glanced at He Lufeng helplessly. He Xiong was willing to pay to send him away. This showed how terrifying He Lufeng had become. The disaster of the racing team, He Lufeng the disgrace of the racing world, He Lufeng the little tyrant of the examination hall, He Lufeng in Lin Yan's opinion, it was a miracle that He Lufeng had become a professional racer. He had passed all kinds of rigorous tests easily. It had been as easy as eating and drinking. Even an outstanding racer would feel a headache when faced with such rigorous tests. However, He Lufeng was different. It was as though he had been born to take tests. Regardless of which country one was in, the driving test or the advancement test was extremely strict. There were several levels, and the higher the level, the harder it was to pass. Even Lin Yan didn't dare say that she could pass in one go. However, He Lufeng was different. He had taken countless exams and passed them in the shortest time possible and in the most perfect state. Once upon a time, He Lufeng's results and speed had shocked many teams. A few years ago, a top team had even spent a huge sum of money to buy He Lufeng, who had just passed the test. In the end, less than a week later, the team had begged and almost knelt before the He family team. They had sent He Lufeng back to the He family team and blocked their contact number. They had never contacted the He family team again. He had been like a Buddha during the test, but he had been a pig during the competition. In the end, Lin Yan decided to accept He Lufeng. If worse came to worst, she could let him be the team's mascot. After all, he was her brother. Who else would she dote on? Sister Yan. Can I go with you? Yun Xian, who had been silent all this time, asked Lin Yan. Lin Yan's eyes landed on Yun Xian. Chapter 8:10. He Xiong didn't want to let Yun Xian go. Yun Xian was indeed a talent worth grooming, and the He family team needed such a talent. Yun Xian. He Xiong's eyes landed on Yun Xian. Yun Xian didn't respond. Instead, he glanced at He Xiong. Yun Xian, do you know how much money is needed to build a team? She can't even afford a car. This is a huge expenditure. Even if Lin Yan has enough money, she can only build a low-level team. The He family team is a high-level team. If you stay with the He family team, we won't mistreat you. As long as you agree, I will triple your salary. He Xiong told Yun Xian. He refused to believe that he wouldn't be able to convince a talent like Yun Xian to stay with him. What was the use of staying with Lin Yan? Even if she wanted to build a low-level team, the expenditure would be huge. A team would need professional racers to compete. How could she afford it? Besides, did she have the qualifications to build a team? After Lin Yan left the He family team, she wouldn't be able to protect herself. If Yun Xian followed her, he would be buried. Yun Xian, think about it. You can only achieve something if you stay with the He family team. Besides, I believe that my offer is good enough. He Xiong grinned at Yun Xian. Yun Xian gazed at He Xiong in silence for some time before he said, "Thank you." He Xiong glanced at Lin Yan before he grinned at Yun Xian. Does this mean that you agree to stay with the He family team? Yun Xian shook his head. No. He Xiong was speechless. If he didn't agree, he could just say so. Why would he thank him? Do you guys want to leave? Mo Shuyun looked at his team members. Captain, I have contributed to the He family team. It's a high-level team now, and I'm very satisfied with the salary increase. I think it's better for me to stay, one of the team members told Mo Shuyun as he gazed at him. That's right. If you stay, your salary will triple. He Xiong grinned. Sorry, Captain. I have a heavy burden on me, so, Miss Lin Yan, I wish you the best. Sorry, I'm not leaving either. If the He family team had been the same as before, none of the team members present would have stayed. However, the He family team had received a huge investment and had become a high-level team. Their salaries had tripled, so the conditions were extremely attractive. If they left with Lin Yan now, they wouldn't know what would happen in the future. They didn't want to leave. Some team members even thought that they would be digging their own graves if they followed Lin Yan. Lin Yan wanted to build a new team all by herself? That was wishful thinking. Only a fool would leave the He family team. Without exception, everyone except Yun Xian chose to lower their heads to reality. Mo Shuyun glanced at the crowd and couldn't help but smile. This smile was not deliberate, but it came from the bottom of his heart, a heartfelt smile. If it hadn't been for Lin Yan, the He family team wouldn't have been able to become a top team. All of them had basked in Lin Yan's limelight. However, at this critical moment, they had abandoned Lin Yan without hesitation. Human nature was truly unfathomable. Chapter 8:11. Some of the team members might really have no other choice. They needed this job, so it was reasonable that they didn't want to take the risk. No one knew if some of the team members who didn't want to leave had a family behind them. One was a stable, high-ranking team with a high salary, while the other was a small, new team with an uncertain future. Even the salary could be a problem. Everyone had a balance in their hearts as to how to choose. Lin Yan, do you really think that you can make a comeback after leaving the He family team? Just as Lin Yan was about to leave, He Xiong sneered coldly. Lin Yan, I heard from Shuya that your racing license has been revoked. You've also been banned from all competitions. You want to become a racer and build a team again? Dream on. As He Xiong's voice fell, many of the people present were surprised. No one had expected that Lin Yan would be banned from competitions because she didn't have a racing license. It wouldn't matter if she didn't have a racing license. However, if she had been banned from competitions, that would be a huge problem. As a professional racer, being banned from competitions would be akin to cutting off her career. There was no way she could get lucky. Once, there had been a talented racer in the country. His racing skills had been astonishing, and he had swept all the competitions in the country. However, because he had become famous too quickly, he had developed some problems with his personality. In the end, he had been banned from competitions. After that, the talented racer had never raced again. He would never have anything to do with racing again. F***ck. Sister, it can't be. How could this happen? He Lufeng stared at Lin Yan in disbelief. Why hadn't he heard anything about this? Based on He Lufeng's knowledge, Lin Yan was just a racing enthusiast. How could she have gotten a racing license before joining the He family team? She had even raced before and been banned from competitions? Some of the team members secretly rejoiced when they heard that Lin Yan had been banned from competitions. Fortunately, they hadn't chosen to leave. Otherwise, they would have been in big trouble. Some of the team members looked doubtful. If Lin Yan really didn't have a license and had been banned from competing, how had she managed to compete as a member of the He family team? He Xiong wasn't lying. Even if the He family team had helped Lin Yan cheat, she wouldn't have participated in the race. Lin Yan, who couldn't be bothered with He Xiong, turned around and left. He Lufeng, Mo Shuyun, and Yun Xian followed them out. Goddess, is that old bastard He Xiong telling the truth? Mo Shuyun asked Lin Yan as soon as they stepped out of the room. Everything else wasn't important, but he couldn't afford to be careless. He had to get to the bottom of this. Otherwise, it would be wishful thinking for Lin Yan to continue racing. Mo Shuyun wasn't the only one. He Lifeng, Yun Xian, and the rest were also clueless about this matter. They were eager to know the truth as well. All of them were astonished. When had Lin Yan been banned by the Racing Association? Generally speaking, not many people had the qualifications to be banned by the Racing Association. Chapter 8:12. Generally speaking, only professional racers had the right to be banned from competitions. However, Lin Yan shouldn't have been a professional racer. Otherwise, given her abilities, she wouldn't have been unknown in the racing industry. Yeah, sister. How did you get banned from competitions? Why didn't I know anything about it? He Lifeng glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan glanced at He Lifeng and replied calmly, "Who told you that I've been banned from competitions?" Mo Shuyun, Yun Xian, and the others were startled by Lin Yan's words. He Lifeng slapped his thigh, his eyes filled with excitement. He smiled and said, "Look, look. I knew it. That bastard uncle wasn't telling the truth. How could my sister be banned from the competition? That old bastard is deliberately slandering her and disrupting the team's morale." I think so too. Mo Shuyun stroked his chin and nodded. Lin Yan glanced at the two of them and replied, "I was banned by a foreign racing association." Mo Shuyun and He Lifeng froze when they heard her. They couldn't snap back to their senses. A moment later, He Lifeng's face was filled with disbelief. He hadn't been banned by the Chinese guild, but by an overseas guild. Sister, what's the difference between the two? He Lifeng glanced at Lin Yan. Hold on, goddess. Are you joking? You've been banned from competitions? Mo Shuyun asked Lin Yan hastily. Would I joke about such a thing? Lin Yan replied nonchalantly. Mo Shuyun was speechless. All right then. Goddess, tell me first. Are you banned permanently or temporarily? Mo Shuyun still held on to a glimmer of hope. As long as she wasn't banned permanently, nothing would be a problem. What they were most afraid of was being banned permanently. Permanently. Lin Yan grinned. Mo Shuyun was speechless, He Lifeng was speechless, Yun Xian was speechless. Mo Shuyun and He Lifeng glanced at each other. How could they still laugh when they had been banned from the competition forever? Goddess, aren't you an actress? How did you get banned from competing overseas? Were you a racer overseas before? Mo Shuyun asked with a frown. Lin Yan nodded and replied, yeah. I used to be a racer overseas for a period of time. No wonder, Mo Shuyun fell into deep thought after listening to Lin Yan. He had found it odd. Given Lin Yan's ability, she couldn't be a mere racing enthusiast. The fact that she had managed to lift the entire He family team and make it a top team was proof of her skills. In the end, before she had become an actress, she had been a racer overseas for a period of time. Goddess, what did you do to be banned by a foreign racing association? Mo Shuyun asked curiously. Based on his understanding of Lin Yan, Mo Shuyun found it hard to imagine what she had done to deserve such a severe ban from international competitions. I consumed illegal drugs. Lin Yan answered honestly. Mo Shuyun? He Lifeng was speechless. What if? Lin Yan didn't dare to continue thinking about it. Besides, Lin Yan was puzzled. Why would Pei Yucheng suddenly want to sleep with her? This was too terrifying. End of this chapter. Chapter 8:17. Pei Yucheng was lying on the bed with a heavy book in his hands. He was staring intently at it. Lin Yan was speechless, so Pei Yucheng had come here to read? Lin Yan couldn't understand why he hadn't gone to the study. Lin Yan could tell that Pei Yucheng was planning to spend the whole night reading. Aren't you going to sleep? Pei Yucheng put down the book and adjusted his glasses gently as he spoke to Lin Yan. Lin Yan shook her head furiously. I'm not sleepy, Mr. Pei. To be honest, I'm a night owl. I don't feel sleepy until the wee hours of the morning. Staying up late has become a daily occurrence for me. She would feel uncomfortable if she didn't stay up late. Pei Yucheng grinned meaningfully at her but didn't say anything else. He continued to read the heavy book. Mr. Pei, what are you reading? Lin Yan couldn't help but glance at Pei Yucheng. The book in Pei Yucheng's hands looked strange. It didn't seem to be a book in the market. The book looked old and didn't have a title. This book? Pei Yucheng put the book down gently and grinned at Lin Yan. Do you want to know? Lin Yan was speechless. She didn't really want to, but she felt a little awkward. She was just trying to find a topic to talk about. Tell me about it. Lin Yan stroked her chin. Come here. Pei Yucheng gazed at Lin Yan and spoke softly. Lin Yan pondered for a few seconds before she cautiously walked to the bed like a kitten. In the end, Lin Yan had no choice but to lie down quietly beside Pei Yucheng. Lin Yan realized that she had never been so close to Pei Yucheng before. Even if she had been close to him in the past, she hadn't been as relaxed as she was today. Lin Yan's eyes darted from the book to Pei Yucheng. She had to admit that Pei Yucheng didn't look as intimidating as he usually did. He was wearing loose pajamas as he lay on the bed. Coupled with his gold-rimmed glasses and the book in his hands, he gave off the vibe of a lazy scholar. This face, this aura. Those top celebrities in the industry who relied on their looks to make a living couldn't be compared at all. It was as if they were products of two completely different worlds. Are you curious about me or the book? Pei Yucheng glanced at Lin Yan with a faint smile on his face. I'm curious. Lin Yan blurted out. Pei Yucheng replied, really? If you are curious about me, what do you want to know? Lin Yan was speechless. What she wanted to know the most was why he didn't read in the study, but on her bed. Mr. Pei, what book are you reading? Lin Yan hastily changed the topic. She had almost been led astray by him. The key. Pei Yucheng grinned. Key? Lin Yan was startled when she heard that. The key to human evolution, Pei Yucheng added when he noticed Lin Yan's confusion. Human evolution. Lin Yan grinned. It's too far away. Is it far away? Perhaps it has already happened, replied Pei Yucheng. Do you want to know what the key to human evolution is? If that was the case. Had the laboratory been affected by external forces? Mr. Pei, can I borrow this book? Lin Yan's interest in the book was piqued. Chapter 821. Dozens of men in black were glaring at Lin Yan furiously. If looks could kill, Lin Yan would have been sliced into pieces. This woman did not play by the rules. She had clearly looked very afraid, but in the end, she was the one who struck the hardest and most ruthlessly. She had repeatedly told them not to go over, and indeed, she looked like a weak woman. But in the end, no one moved. She came up and punched whoever she saw. Her fists were like huge iron hammers. Those who were hit by her fists were half dead. The most incomprehensible and unacceptable thing was that ever since this woman had displayed her hammer-like battle prowess, they hadn't taken even half a step forward. This woman, with a face full of fear, shouted for them not to go over, but at the same time, she chased after them, using her hammer-like fists to beat them up. What was wrong with this world? Especially now, she was clearly as strong as a hammer, but in front of this man, she was acting like a weak woman. This woman must be a freaking drama queen. However, she did seem to be an actress. Hands. He turned around and glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan extended her hand in confusion. He held her hand gently and stroked it gently. Does it hurt? Yeah. Lin Yan nodded, looking aggrieved. The man in black whose front teeth had been knocked out, the man in black who had his ear pulled off, the man in black whose nose was broken, the man in black whose leg was crippled, they were here to complete the mission, not to eat dog food. Was there still any law? Was there still justice in this world? They were the ones who were almost hammered to death. This man actually asked this woman if her hand hurt. A second later, the man turned around and scanned the people who had been beaten by Lin Yan. His voice was as cold as ice. Apologize. The men in black? This man was poisonous, right? Did this man not understand the situation? Had he been bewitched by this woman? In the end, who should apologize to whom? However, she was forced by the man's indescribable power. The man in black whose front teeth had been knocked out said, "I'm sorry, my teeth knocked against your hand." The black-clothed man whose ear had been pulled off said, "I apologize. Your fingers must have used too much strength." The black-clothed man whose nose was broken said, "I was wrong. My nosebleed dirted your hand." The man in black got up hastily and limped away. He picked up the shoe that Lin Yan had accidentally kicked away earlier. "Sister, your shoe." Lin Yan put on her shoes and scanned them. "Who are you? Why are you looking for me?" "I'm just telling you that we're from the Hunters Guild. As for why, we won't say it even if we die." The black shadow whose nose was broken said hurriedly. "Hunters Guild?" Lin Yan furrowed her eyebrows. Can we go now?" One of the black-robed men looked at Pei Yucheng in fear. However, Pei Yucheng merely glanced at them, as though he wasn't interested in talking to them. "Leave. No matter who you are, don't come looking for trouble with me again." "I'm not a pushover," Lin Yan hissed coldly. Everyone looked at each other. What did this woman say? Bully her? They swore that there wouldn't be a next time. Even if they were beaten to death, they wouldn't want to see this woman again. End of this chapter. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.